Before we begin, let's address the obvious. Octavia E. Butler's birthday is on June 22nd. Yay! So if I upload this the day before or on the day of, we are celebrating all things Octavia E. Butler, and I could not be happier. Hi everyone, welcome back to ONYX Pages. I am Minjeri. This is
Tommy.
And I am here to announce that we are going to be, and we meaning myself, Isis from Sister Sci-Fi, Tatiana from Musical Tati, the three of us are going to be co-hosting the Octavia E. Butler Slow Read Along. This is going to be taking place from 2020 to 2022. I will explain why it's that long. But we're going to be reading all of Octavia Butler's works in near publication order at a slow pace so that some of us can reread her work together. And for those of you who are not familiar with her work, you can read her work in an order that will assist you to appreciate her development as a writer and also the historical significance of her literary contributions. I am so thrilled. I know that a lot of you are really interested in Octavia E. Butler, and you're particularly interested in reading her work with other people. As a result of the COVID-19 crisis, the unfortunate circumstance of President Trump as the President of the United States
for now,
and everything that's happening in the world, a lot of people have turned to her work and have felt that her work, in particular, Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents, they felt that that work was prophetic because Octavia Butler imagined a near future and gave us tools, really, to think about how to manage it, how to survive it, how to thrive, and how to create in the midst of it. She placed Black women in the center of her work. Her work includes Black vampires, Black teenagers in the midst of apocalypse, a Black middle-aged woman in the aftermath of an alien invasion, a Black woman who discovered another planet or had to deal with another alien invasion. Like her, a Black woman speaking to the divine. What does that even mean or look like? Her work is incredible, and it is part of science fiction canon. So I am super, super thrilled that we get this opportunity to just be with each other while we experience or re-experience Octavia E. Butler as a community. I want to talk about the two co-hosts. So Isis is a powerhouse. She is incredible. She is an avid reader. She is also the mastermind behind Sister Sci-Fi, which is a number of different things. First and foremost, it's a community of Black women, in particular, people of color, queer folks who love science fiction. They've got a website. You can check it out. You can also join I believe that there's a Facebook group. Sister Sci-Fi also is a bookstore. It's an online store where you can buy books, obviously, but also great merchandise. And she's got these, I'll go grab it. But there's this t-shirt, and there's also a t-shirt that has Nisi on it for Nisi Shawl. I also have this tote bag that says Black Woman of the Future, as well as a pair of tights that has Black Woman of the Future down the side. So that's a thing that everybody should own. Or you should just like buy it and give it to Black women of the future who are in your life. Isis is also one of the three co-administrators of the solar-powered Afrofuturism slow reading group on Facebook. So that is Isis. She is going to be preparing bundles of Octavia Butler's books, and you can buy them from her online store at a discounted price. So if you don't own any of her books, or you want a different edition or a different cover, you should definitely check out her store. I know that a number of people have been rushing to her store in the past couple of weeks, and there are a number of titles are sold out, but she is going to be restocking this week and weeks to follow to make sure that those of you who participate in the slow read along will be able to purchase books from her site. So definitely check out Sister Sci-Fi. There's going to be a link to the online store in the description below. The other lovely co-host is going to be Tatiana from Musical Tati. So what I have to say about her: Tatiana is an OG booktuber. She's one of the first booktubers that I found when I joined booktube. The first thing that I loved about Tatiana was how real and excited she was about reading books, and how brilliantly she talks about books through her excitement. She just jumps into the plot. She engages with the characters, and when she doesn't like something, you will know, and when she loves it, you will definitely know. She is intoxicating in her joy of the literary arts, and she's also somebody that I consider a true friend in booktube world and also in real life, because those are two different places, as you know from Twitter drama. And she's just a wonderful person. So I'm really excited about reading the books along with Isis and also Tatiana, because it's going to be an amazing experience. Okay, so how is the slow read going to actually work? So we are going to be reading the books in near publication order. So we tried to find the most logical order to read Octavia Butler's books. We have allotted 2 months per book, which means that you can read at a slow pace. You can speed up if you want, but as a group, we're going to be moving along at a very, very slow clip so that we can engage with the writing, and also so that we can read other things, because it doesn't have to be OEB all the time, although that is my version of heaven. So you can hop on or hop off whenever you want. 2 months per book. We are going to be starting with Kindred. We're going to be reading the prose version of Kindred, but we will also be engaging with the graphic adaptation, which was put together by the dynamic duo of Damian Duffy and Jennings. Okay, so we're going to start with Kindred. There's also going to be a schedule of all the books that we're going to read and when we're going to read them, and that will be available on our website. We are still building that, and when it is complete, there will be a link below in the description so that you can follow along. Since we're going to be doing reading every book 2 months apart, this is going to take a while. We're not going to be done until 2022. You don't have to start with us and end with us. You can join whenever you want and sign up to read whatever book you want to read with us. But we appreciate that there might be different hosts by the time that this is done, because life happens. So we're going to have some central places where you'll be able to get information. We already have a Twitter account. We also have an Instagram account. And then we're going to also be asking you to sign up to the slow readathon using Eventbrite or whatever platform we end up using. We actually do want to create a community and collect the email addresses of those of you who are interested, so that as time moves on, we'll be able to get in touch with you about different events that we will be running as a part of the slow read along. I keep on saying readathon. We anticipate being able to invite special guests to participate in the live shows that we will be hosting at each juncture in respect of each book. Our intention is that the live shows are going to be on ONYX Pages channel, so you'll be able to watch our discussions about the books and also watch any interviews that we do with people who are enthusiasts or who are aficionados of Octavia E. Butler's work. On the website or the web page, it's probably going to be a web page from my blog. We're also going to have a list of recommended reading. So if you are speeding ahead or if you want to read companion books, there are a number of collections, nonfiction collections about Octavia E. Butler's work. So there'll be a list of those, and you can read those if you want to read her fiction accompanied by commentary or literary criticism of her work. What else do I want to say to you about that? I think that's it. Let me see if my notes suggest that I have to tell you anything else. I've told you everything. So now what I'm going to do is just show you some of the books. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be starting with Kindred. Kindred, I'm not going to be able to give a description of everyone because, you know, yes, the food is here. There's been rum, so I'm just gonna go with it. So the first book that we're gonna start is Kindred. We're gonna start reading this on June 22nd, which is Octavia Butler's birthday. This is one of her iconic pieces. I mean, honestly, all of her pieces are iconic, but this is a time travel story, and people love this story, and people appreciate it, but also have felt impacted by it because it's graphic, like many of her stories. Octavia had a way of helping us really face the difficult parts of our lives and of our history through her fiction. So this is not an easy one to read, but it is a very powerful one. I will also say to you that I should have brought these out as well. For those of you who want to do both readings, you can read Kindred the prose and also Kindred the graphic novel together. There will be opportunities for us to connect about both, but we are going to be focusing on the prose as well. So that's the first book. And then I'm just going to show you the rest of her collection. The next collection is the Seed to Harvest collection, and this includes 4 novels: Wild Seed, Mind of My Mind, Clay's Ark, and Patternmaster. This collection is known as both the Seed to Harvest collection and also the Patternist series. In her classic Patternist series, multiple Hugo and Nebula Award winner Octavia E. Butler established the themes of identity and transformation that echo throughout her distinguished career. Now collected for the first time in one volume, these 4 novels take readers on a wondrous odyssey from a mythic, primordial past to a fantastic far future. In ancient Africa, a female demigod of nurture and fertility mates with a powerful, destructive male entity. Together, they birth a race of madmen, visionaries, and psychics who cling to civilization's margins and back alleys for millennia, coming together in a telepathic pattern just as Earth is consumed by a cosmic invasion. Now these new beings, no longer merely human, will battle to rule the transfigured world. That is Seed to Harvest. Have you ever read it?
Nope.
It's you should read with us. It's good. We probably will not be reading Survivor because Survivor is out of print. It's very, very difficult to get. And Octavia Butler was not keen on it being reprinted because of her views of the choices that she made in the plot. But I do want to just read the back and show you the book. Know thy enemy. They fled from an earth ravaged by plague and violence, seeking to fulfill their holy mission to discover a new home for humanity. But instead of landing in a peace-filled paradise, Earth's missionaries find themselves caught between 2 warring civilizations, the Garkon and the Tekon. And only one of the people from Earth, a young girl and converted missionary named Alana, has the proper survival training to see through the lies of their Garkon hosts, who extend the hand of friendship to the humans only to enslave them. Alana alone can understand the necessity of becoming one with the Tekon enemy, and perhaps she can find a way to release the missionaries from the deadly bondage into which they have complacently fallen. Yet even if she succeeds, will Alana merely be saving them for a still more inescapable doom? So this is Survivor by Octavia Butler. And Survivor was published in 1978. 1978. So that is Survivor. As I said, we're probably not going to read this as a part of the experience, simply because Survivor is very hard to get. But if you are interested in Survivor and you have a copy of it and you're interested in discussing it, just leave a comment in the comment section. All right, so the next is Octavia Butler's collection called Lilith's Brood. It's also known as the Xenogenesis collection. Presenting 3 complete novels in one volume by multiple Hugo and Nebula Award winner Octavia E. Butler, Lilith's Brood is a profoundly evocative, sensual, and disturbing epic of human transformation. Lilith Iyapo is in the Andes, mourning the death of her family when war destroys Earth. Centuries later, she is resurrected by miraculously powerful unearthly beings, the ONYX. Driven by an irresistible need to heal others, the ONYX are rescuing our dying planet by merging genetically with mankind. But Lilith and all humanity must now share the world with uncanny, unimaginably alien creatures, their own children. This is their story. So that is Lilith's Brood. The next is the Parable of the Sower and the Parable of the Talents. It also, you can get it as a bind-up, but you can also, I have mismatched copies. So this is the Parable of the Sower and then Parable of the Talents, different cover. But you can get them together in this box set, and these ones are pretty easy to grab. So let me read the Parable of the Sower. When unattended environmental and economic crises lead to social chaos, not even gated communities are safe. In a night of fire and death, Lauren Olamina, a minister's young daughter, loses her family and home and ventures out into the unprotected American landscape. But what begins as a flight for survival soon leads to something much more, a startling vision of human destiny and the birth of a new faith. Also, along with the prose original, you can also read Parable of the Sower. It's graphic adaptation, again, presented by Damian, Duffy, and John Jennings. By the time we get to reading this, we will probably see the publication of Parable of the Talents, the sequel, which is currently being edited and has already been written. So, the graphic adaptation. So that'll be great. Parable of the Talents. This is a sequel. It's a duology. Lauren Olamina's love is divided among her young daughter, her community, and the revelation that led Lauren to found a new faith that teaches God is change. But in the wake of environmental and economic chaos, the U.S. government turns a blind eye to violent bigots who consider the mere existence of a black female leader a threat. Don't they all? Isn't that always a thing? And soon Lauren must either sacrifice her child and her followers or forsake the religion that can transform human destiny. So that's Parable of the Talents. Okay, almost done. Then we have got the very controversial Fledgling. Shori is a mystery. Found alone in the woods, she appears to be a little black girl with traumatic amnesia and near-fatal wounds. But Shori is a 53-year-old vampire with a ravenous hunger for blood, the lost child of an ancient species of near immortals who live in dark symbiosis with humanity. Genetically modified to be able to walk in daylight, Shori now becomes the target of a vast plot to destroy her and her kind. And in the final apocalyptic battle, her survival will depend on whether all humans are bigots or all bigots are human. So, I'm gonna say it. Vampires as, like, mystical beings inherently bring in questions of consent and power and domination and colonization, right? Like that, when you think of what a vampire is and what it needs to do in order to survive, it brings in all of those images. And so to take that and to place a young appearing black child in the center of that mythology is incredible. Layer on white supremacy and layer on apocalypse, like, why are you reading Twilight? Just saying.
Just saying.
I mean, like, you know, you can get a no-name brand, or you can just, like, get the actual stuff.
And be done.
And be done. Mm-hmm. The next book is Bloodchild. This is a collection of short stories, so Bloodchild and Other Stories. It's I love this cover. It's very beautiful, and it's very Art Deco-y. It reminds me of that. So, it is Octavia Butler's, well, at the time of publication, it was Octavia Butler's only collection of shorter work and features the Hugo and Nebula Award-winning stories Bloodchild and Speech Sounds. These works of the imagination are parables of the contemporary world. Butler proves constant in her vigil, an unblinking pessimist, hoping to be proven wrong, and one of contemporary literature's strongest voices. So that is the Bloodchild collection. And then, and this just arrived today. I opened it today. It arrived earlier. This is the latest in Octavia E. Butler's bibliography. And this is Octavia E. Butler's Unexpected Stories. And on the back, Publishers Weekly says, these riveting additions to Butler's oeuvre are superb examples of her craft and will be welcomed by Butler fans and scholars alike. I did not pronounce oeuvre properly. I don't know where that half-rolled R came in. Oeuvre. It's the rum. Okay, so this is Unexpected Stories. This is a hardcover edition. It's limited edition. I believe that there are still copies left. This is released by Subterranean Press recently. Unexpected Stories is by any measure an unexpected gift. This slender but resonant volume contains 2 stories recently unearthed and never before in print by one of the most significant figures in modern science fiction, Octavia E. Butler. The story, A Necessary Being, takes us into the heart of an alien culture with a rigid hierarchical system based on caste and skin coloration. Nothing like what we live in right now.
Exactly what we live in right now.
With the arrival of visitors from a distant mountain tribe, the society known as the Rokon finds itself faced with the sudden prospect of profound societal change. In the second story, Childfinder, the title character is a woman who uses her psychic abilities to track down children with similar nascent abilities and to protect them from the abuses of a predatory society. These may be early stories, but they are the clear reflections of a powerful and original talent, and their belated publication is a major literary event. As novelist Nisi Shawl notes it says her, but Nisi Shawl is non-binary. In their eloquent introduction, we may live in a fundamentally unfair world, but sweet surprises occasionally come our way. Unexpected Stories is one of those surprises. It is a book that Butler's many admirers have been waiting for, whether they knew it or not. And then it talks about the Subterranean Press edition of Unexpected Stories will be its first print edition with a newly commissioned introduction by Nisi Shaw and an afterword by Butler's longtime agent and literary executor, Marilee Heifetz. So yes, this came out in 2020. And this is copy 215. So yes, that is Unexpected Stories. Check Subterranean Press. Hopefully there will be other copies available. So that is all I have to say to you for right now about the Octavia E. Butler slow read. On behalf of the hosts, myself, Isis, and Tatiana, I really hope that you join us on this journey, and also Tomi on this journey, because she's on all the journeys. I hope that you join us and slow read, luxuriate in Octavia E. Butler with us. So if you've watched this video all the way to the end, you can, how about a stack of books as the icon that you put in the comments? Nice. Right? And also, which Octavia E. Butler title are you most excited to read as a part of the slow read along? All the socials will be in the description, so you can join us and find out more information. Also, on Monday, June 22nd at 7 o'clock EST, I will be interviewing Ayanna Jameson, and Ayanna is the founder and a current member of the Octavia E. Butler Legacy Network. So if you want to find out more about how you can engage with Octavia E. Butler's work, or how you can connect with other people who are lovers of her work, please come and join us for that interview, and follow them on the socials as well, so that you can find out more about the OEB communities. All right. That's all I'm going to say. Remember to read with purpose, and thanks for watching.